Hey everybody, if anyone's there, I'll be starting in just a minute. I'm just going to do a testnet status update in just a bit. I'm going to make sure it's stream going out. I know it's Friday night and people have better things to do, but if you're hanging out on YouTube, maybe you can catch a live stream. Just waiting for it to come up. And there it is. It's the way I do the streaming. Sorry, just take me a moment here. Get the link. And I can drop it in Telegram. It's funny, it doesn't show up on my channel right away. There it goes. Oh, it put the Jormungandr picture up. Pretty cool. I like that picture. I got a good picture to show you at the end here too. Of the connections. I'll show you a picture of the map. I took the map live stream down because that server is running testnet, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't interfering, and it's not. I'll put it back up next week once we got things rolled out. And lastly, I'll put it on Twitter. There we go. I made a lot of people angry on Twitter. Oh my gosh. Whoa, I just looked at my Twitter. People were mad at me. It's okay. It'll be all right. We'll be all right. Hey, Sebastian. Hi, James. Okay, I see you guys there. Hi, sorry for the slow startup. Hey, I was just want to give a testnet status update. You know, earlier today, the main reason I had to come on YouTube, I'm not very good at Twitter, but I am really good at pissing people off. And if you guys got questions, comments, please let me know in the chat. So here's how the testnet has gone for the last 3 months, and here's where it's at now. In general, I'll give you the big picture view of things and spare you the details. But in the big scheme of things, basically, since the end of September, we started with a 05X variant of Jormungandr, and it starts off kind of rough when you first get to a particular baseline. And then it gets better and better and better, and it gets smoothed out, and then it's good, right? And you're good to go. And you would have to reset. We'd have to reset the testnet. Sometimes you had to reset it a few times. I'm thinking maybe 10 times in the last, about 10 times, maybe more. I wasn't counting, but maybe 10 times in the last 2.5 months since the end of September. We've had to reset it, and that's just the natural part of the process. That's how the process works. There's engineers looking data back in the labs, but they can't simulate the entire planet. I'll show you a picture of the entire planet, what 6,000 connections look like, okay, here at the end of the podcast. But they can't simulate that in a lab. The only way to simulate that is by putting the testnet out to the entire planet and seeing what happens and how it responds. And so basically what we're doing is, you know, the 05X series, we would reset the testnet, and then they would add new features. Well, we'd reset it, then work it, stabilize. And there's thousands of volunteer hours going into this from all kinds of people all over the place. And then they would add a new feature, and it would destabilize, and then we would work it, and you'd go to 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 6.4, and then it would stabilize, right? And then we went to running multiple test nets where there's a daily and a nightly, and the nightly would get reset on a regular basis, not a daily, but the beta and the nightly. And the beta would, that would stay stable and kind of stick with that. That's kind of like to see the long-term effect, and then the nightly would update rapidly. And then we got on to 7.0 and 7.1 and 2 and so on. And you'd have to reset it again. We'd have to reset the Genesis block hash. We did this at least 10 times. and reset the trusted peers and set up different features for the stake pool operators. And it's a great process. It really works well. Um, but there were periods where it was very stable, and there were other periods where it was very unstable. Like, for example, I think 070 is still running on one of the test nets. That one was extremely stable. And there were other variants, they only lasted like 2 hours. Like, it got deployed and it went, just fell apart, and then said, oh, scrap it, and we'll get a better one out there. So my key point here is that for the last 3 months, we've had to reset it like 10 times. Well, guess what? Now that we're on the global testnet and there's thousands and thousands of connections, well, we're probably going to have to be reset it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I know I piss a lot of people off. I'm not the engineer. It's not my call. But I know what I'm looking at. I mean, I just look at it and go, yeah, we might have to reset it. So I don't mind pissing people off. I apologize. I don't mean to do it. But I do say it like it is, and that's okay. So sorry if I pissed you off. I didn't mean to piss you off. But don't be surprised when I piss you off again, because I'm going to do it again. That's just how it is. I've always been that way. I used to do some really tough, I'm ex-military, I used to do some really tough inspections in the military, and I would have to tell people really bad news and say, your stuff doesn't work. Okay, well, they didn't like it, and that's okay. But it is working well. So the positive side is, it does work and it's pretty amazing, but it's also kind of wonky. You got to take the bad with the good and the good with the bad. It's pretty amazing that it launched. It's pretty amazing, very efficient piece of code, and also it's kind of wonky. It's unpredictable. You don't know when it's going to fork. And people are using it right now, so it's important to think about that. They need to understand, and I don't mind pissing them off. IOHK can't piss them off. It's not a good idea for them to do it. No, it's not a good idea for like Emergo or Cardano Foundation. They don't want to piss people off, but I can piss people off, and it's not that big of a loss to me. So I mean, to piss you off, but I apologize for doing that. But it's it's just how it is. And the testnet is really good. It's a really cool process. Just right now, it gets gotten a little bit wonky. It's kind of forky. It's a little bit crashy. That's okay. It's a testnet, and we all know that. So I just wanted to let people know and set you at ease, or try to set you at ease, and just let you know that when it's going good, I'll tell you it's going good. And things are going really good. I mean, we hit releases, it worked well. And when things are not going so good, I will tell you. I will not tell you. Yeah, there you go. I will not tell you. So let me check chat here real quick, and I've got a few more things to point out. And just so you guys know, I know people are beating me up on Twitter. That's okay. Just go ahead and beat me up. I'll take it. I'll just take the hit. Some people are beating me up on Reddit. That's fine. No one has to defend me. You don't have to defend me. I'll just take the hit. It's fine. I'll give you an example. Most people here drive cars, right? You drive a car. I don't have to be an auto mechanic or an engine engineer. I don't have to engineer the engine to know that a car is driving correctly. All I need to do is drive the car and say, yeah, the car runs, but it's needs a little bit of work, right? That's all I'm saying here. I don't need to be an engineer to tell you that the car isn't working right. I just need to drive the car, and I can tell you whether it's working or not. Any comments in there? Staking went smooth for me. Yeah, some of the staking went well. It's been a various experience for different people. That was from Roger Ripple. Thanks, Roger. Some people's stakings went well. Same thing with the pool operators. There's something strange about the protocol. No one really understands it, but some pool operators, it really likes those pools. I don't know if it's related to geography or network latency on the internet, the hops between the servers, or something, concentration of nodes. But it just likes, some servers it likes, some things it don't like at all. I tell you one thing, it doesn't like Mac OS X Catalina, and Catalina is the best operating system I've ever run. Joe McGander crashes in 5 minutes. Doesn't like Catalina at all. So I switched over to Ubuntu. Digi server's on Ubuntu right now. That's just an example. Okay, so what does that mean for earning rewards? I don't know how it's going to affect the rewards, but the rewards I think are running on the accounting model. Sebastian understands that better than I do, and I saw him over there in the chat. But the rewards are on the accounting side of the model, so maybe it'll be all right. Oh, there's Emma Gator. Hi, Ed. Appreciate all you do. Thanks, Emma. Yeah, so the rewards can probably stay there. I don't know. Not a scientist. Okay, never claimed to be. Never claimed to be an expert. Okay, I have common sense. That's all I got. But the accounting stuff can probably stay there. It's on a different part of the wallet, I guess. You know what I mean? So it's probably going to be okay. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But don't be surprised if there's a reset or more resets coming. It's fine. That's how it's been. So if it's been that way for the last 3 months, guess what? Well, it's probably going to happen again and again and again. It's fine. It's just that right now the stake pool operators are used to it. The stake pool operators are used to the resets, but the users of the wallets are not used to the resets. They've never experienced that before. As a matter of fact, the stake pool operators are probably burned out on the resets. But I'm just kidding. I'm kind of speaking for the stake pool operators a little bit when I say wrecked. I probably shouldn't have said wrecked. That was probably not a good word to use, but that's just the way it is. So I just want to get some of those points across. I didn't want to eat up your Friday night. Let's see. Ralph says he finally got his Yoroi transfer funds to stake to Digi. Oh, thank you, Ralph. But I'm glad your Yoroi is working. Here's an interesting thing about Daedalus. People have had different experiences. When I first launched Daedalus, man, it was like spot on. Daedalus is good to go. Daedalus is sweet, man. That is awesome stuff. It's the network it's connecting to. So people are having problems where the stake pools disappear. They don't show up. That's one problem. I've got a video on that. And there's another problem where people open their wallet and they see the rewards go back to the rewards wallet balance goes back to the balance wallet, the balance check side or whatever. And so yeah, so there's a couple things. So the users are going to see problems, and I want you to get used to that. I want you to get used to that and understand that that's just how it is, and it'll get better because it's a great process. Let me see any other questions. Oh, thanks Wayne for the vote of support. I appreciate it. It's a long week, and I was like, man, I don't want to go on YouTube and tell people what I said on Twitter. It's going to happen again. I guarantee it. I'm going to say something stupid. I'm going to piss you guys off. Let me see. Is there a link to send us to the nodes growing? I will put it back up. So you can go to the IOHK homepage, iohk.io, and see all of the nodes throughout the world. Okay, go to iohk.io. I turned off my YouTube map, but I got a screenshot here I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. It's really cool to see 6,000 connections. It's pretty amazing. And I'll put that up next week. Let's see. Oh, another thing. Right now, the rewards are very random. Okay. Right now, the pools that are winning blocks is some of them are optimized for performance. Some of them, people are resetting nodes, but it doesn't really matter. But for all, I'm not talking about the pool operators. For the users out there in the world that are using the wallet, they're going to look at a pool. They're going to try to find a green one, right? And they're going to say, oh, that one's green and the percent is low, and they're going to click delegate. But that node at that moment, at the time they click the button, it might not ever make any blocks again. Mine did that to me last night. Like 2 days ago, it wasn't making any blocks. Yesterday it was doing great. This morning was like, not so much. And then later in the morning it said, making blocks, baby. And it's random. So people need to be aware of that. There's this right now, if you get rewards or you don't get rewards, it's not based on pool performance or stake. It's supposed to be based on pool performance and stake, but right now it is not. It is randomness. It's some areas, maybe by geography, it likes to pick better or something. I don't know, but or whatever it is. But there's a lot of randomness involved in the rewards, which is not what the protocol was designed to do. So that needs to be. It'll be fixed. I know it will work. I definitely know it's going to work out. It's pretty amazing to see Ouroboros right at the beginning. Right at the end of an epic and the beginning of the next one, it fires off and generates the leader schedule, and it's like, wow, it's amazing. It really does work. It just needs a lot more work. Don't be surprised whenever you see something wonky. It's just going to be a little bit wonky until it gets sorted out. So let's see. What was else I going to think about? Yeah, that was pretty much it. That's all I got for you. If you got any questions, let me know. Check the chat here again. And then I'll show you the picture. It's really cool. I've got to do a screen share on that. Yeah, even though, Wayne says, even though it's wonky, I've still gotten all my rewards from Team Digi. All right. Excellent, Wayne. Good deal. My node didn't hit all the blocks. There were some days where it just said, nope, not today. And this morning was a good morning. It liked hitting blocks this morning. No difference in the server. There's times where it's the same configuration and it's hitting all the blocks. Bam, 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 bam. And we're monitoring it. We're putting a lot of hours into monitoring and maintaining and making sure it's tuned. And we made a pact and don't reset it. Okay, that's not the right, just locally between me and the two techs. We said, Don't reset the server. Leave it run. Let it happen. Old Crypto Geek recommended that, and I always listen to Old Crypto Geek because he's an old crypto geek. Okay. Yeah, Matthew Jura said today Lightning Network, the network was lightning fast, so that's nice. Yeah, and 0.8.5 just came out with various results. That's usually the case. Some versions work better, like 0.8.2 worked better on Mac OS X, and 0.8.4 worked better on Ubuntu. 0.8.3, neither one of them seemed to like that one. So it's kind of hit or miss, but the good thing is they're all compatible, so the pool operators can go in there and find which version between 0.8.2, 3, 4, and now 5, which one is working best for their server, and then they can kind of tune it to get the best performance out of it. But there's still a lot of randomness involved there, and it's not entirely performance based. So a little bit of luck of the draw there. Okay, so here we go. Let me get the map out there, and let me share this out. Oops, give me a moment to set it up. It's just a picture. I had to take a static screenshot because I have it turned off right now. I didn't want to overload the server, even though it's a massively powerful server, and nothing has ever crashed on that server, ever, except Jormungandr. Okay, so what does that tell you? Needs work, needs work. Okay, so here we go. Picture, there it is. It's pretty cool. Okay, hopefully you can see that. I can't see anything that if you're still on YouTube, I can't see your comments. But anyway, this is 6,337 connections. This includes the nodes and wallets throughout the world. So you can see all that coverage. And again, it's just a picture of the map. And I will put this back up again next week because the technology that I'm using there, I just put a few things together and it generates this map. And it can see up to 20,000 connections. And we hit 6,337 yesterday. It was pretty cool. Now, that wasn't simultaneous. Oop, I just turned off the screen share. I hope you guys liked that. That was kind of cool. And I lose track of my windows. All right. Okay, so I hope you guys liked that. And that's all I got for you. And keep your heads up. Never quit. Always keep pushing forward. And don't be surprised when I piss you off again, because it will happen. I'm sorry, but have a great Friday night. And if I don't see you before the holidays, happy holidays and a happy new year as well. So take care, everyone. Bye-bye. And I forgot where my close button is. Okay, there it is.